Well, good afternoon, Tampa. I'm glad it's not hot today. Well, we gather on Patriot Day, September 11. Significant that we remember why, and we think about what this day means. On my part, it's a safe assumption that many of you can remember exactly where you were when the terrorist attacks of 9/11 in 2001 played out before you, played out before all of us on live television. And there was probably a very empty, sick feeling in your stomach as you watched passenger airliners become weapons of mass destruction. And then as you watched the Twin Towers crumble. And then as you watched an airplane that probably was designated for the nation's capital crash into a field in Pennsylvania. And as the World Trade Towers collapsed, it killed thousands of people who worked there, and then other hundreds of New York City's first responders, the rescue, the firemen, the policemen, who had gone in to recover and rescue whom they could. And then over the next few days, you probably like me sensed a feeling of shock and then probably anger as we had witnessed a devastating attack on the homeland of the United States of America. Mayor, chiefs, and the great citizens of Tampa, it's a pleasure to be in this community and present you with a commemorative flag flown at Ground Zero in New York City by the Post 9/11 Foundation. After the attack in New York City policeman Richie Miller found a U.S. flag at the city's Emergency Operations Center at a high school auditorium, took it immediately to Ground Zero, and with firemen and policemen and rescue workers, hoisted it above Ground Zero. For those of us in the United States Special Operations Forces, some of us immediately deployed to our new front, Afghanistan. And in the task force that I was pleasure and honored and blessed to be the deputy commander of at Kandahar, there was an Army Special Forces Master Sergeant, Scott Neal. Well, that NYPD policeman and Master Sergeant Scott Neal together are custodians of that flag that Detective Miller flew over Ground Zero. And they formed the Post 9/11 Foundation to focus on several things. One, the importance to each and every one of us about the principles, and I underscore the responsibilities of freedom. And then also our commitment to never forget those who defend, those who rescue, those who respond, all of those who serve, civilians in uniform or military in uniform. Today, the Post 9/11 Foundation commences a year-long national campaign to follow the flag. That original flag, along with a dozen other commemorative flags flown at Ground Zero, will begin a nationwide journey to communities like Tampa so that we can remember and we can commit. Mayor, it's a great honor to present that flag to the city of Tampa today. Honor Guard, post.
General, on behalf of the citizens of Tampa, I accept this flag, and I accept it on behalf of the memories of all of our first responders who died that day 9 years ago. All of us remember that moment and that day and its aftermath. and we will carry the memories of that day and its aftermath to our own graves. I have learned since being mayor that it is often the ordinary day that can easily turn tragic. And it was that kind of day in New York City on September 11th, 2001. It was actually a beautiful late summer, blue sky, crisp morning day in New York City. And everyone went about their normal course of business. And for the firefighters and the police officers in New York City, when the first plane hit and the second plane hit, they did what they were trained to do: save the lives of others. They didn't stop, and they didn't know at that time what the big picture was. They didn't know about the terrorism. They didn't know about the other planes. All they knew was that the citizens that they were there to protect on a daily basis were in trouble. And so they rushed into the buildings and tried to save as many lives as possible. And then the two buildings came down. And in that instance, hundreds of lives were lost. And the whole nation grieved. I feel it acutely because I know that here in Tampa, our firefighters and our police officers would do the same. They would respond the same way. They don't know on any given day what kind of call they get. Call of a burning building, hazardous waste material, a medical call, traffic stop. All they know is that they took an oath to protect the public of Tampa, and when they get a call, that's what they do. They don't think about themselves. They think about serving the public. And that's why on 9/11, we should never, never forget that strong sense of duty and responsibility that went with those lives on that tragic day. This is also a day, General, for us to say thank you to our men and women who are fighting overseas. They are there in Afghanistan and Iraq because of 9/11. And they fight bravely. And I have to believe that if they know that back in the United States, they know that we respect their work, that we have true affection for them, and that we welcome them as heroes when they return, I can't help but believe that it makes their life better as they serve overseas. And so today we commemorate braveness. We commemorate heroes. And as I accept this flag on behalf of the people of Tampa, I say this: we have here a wonderful chief, Assistant Chief Hamlin. Chief Castor was at an event this morning. I think they would agree with me that while their title of chief means a lot to them, and while the title of mayor is something I take seriously, the title we cherish the most is that of American citizen, because that's the title. That's what makes us so proud, to know what we stand for as a nation, and that we stand as a beacon of hope for others across the world who look at us and are inspired by our values and our beliefs. That's also what 9/11 stands for. I salute all of our first responders, and I am proud of the work that you do every day. And I know here in Tampa, our citizens are safe because of your commitment.
Again, we'd like to thank our mayor, the greatest mayor in this entire nation, for all of the support and everything she does to ensure that we provide the greatest public safety to our community. And thank you to each of you for this great remembrance. And may we never forget the sacrifices of the great men and women who sacrificed on that dreadful day. This now concludes the formal part of this ceremony. God bless, and may we continue to remember those, and they rest in peace.
Hi, I'm Jane Castor, your police chief.
And I'm Tom Forward, your fire chief. We want to keep you in the know when you're on the go.